my god, my hair looks ridiculous. What else is new? Oh yeah, pure sexy. Hey neighbor, it's Ryan from Hippie Witch Heart. Welcome back to day 2 of Vlogmas. Today we are going to be unboxing quite a few different things. It ranked 2nd in the Ultimate Tarot Smackdown towards the 25 Days of Tarot. It didn't do well. It got eliminated. Today's deck tied with the Hocus Pocus deck. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza. This one is from US Games. It got 4 votes in the Ultimate Tarot Smackdown towards the 25 Days of Tarot. Didn't do hot. Didn't do too hot. Anyway, let's start today off with the fun stuff. We have the water drop advent, and I'm really excited because I posted the day 1 photos on social media and water drop liked them. We are one step closer to them actually knowing I exist. I'll take it. If you are a beverage person, now is the time. Make yourself a beverage, have a little drink with me. We're continuing on with the flavor advent. This is just the little flavor pack, and then we also have the big advent as well. But day 2 is right here. It's the little house-looking chimney. We'll open it and see what flavor we got in here. Oh, it's green. Lemon lime. Oh, it's the microlight. I did not care for the microlights last year, let's be honest. This is microlight, lemon lime, green coffee, and acerola. Whatever. Throw that one in there, put the lid on it, and we're gonna unbox everything else and come back and do the flavors later. Shall we? Busting out the big boy. This is the huge advent from them. This is day 2. It's cute little houses. So I decided to take photos of everything, which I'm sure you've seen if you're on Instagram or TikTok. If not, follow me there. You should. I post extra stuff and just fun rants. It's a good time. This one is a little building, but I've been taking photos like this and posting the things up, and I want to see like the little cityscape that it makes. Anyway, struggle to open a package again. That is such a large box. It was the iced tea raspberry, which is great because I actually really like this. This was the flavor we had in the first one, and now, oh, 0 sugar. Fun. They updated their packaging. That looks really cute. It's got the little like, makeup girlies. It has the little description thingy on it, so you can see the bottle of dropping it in, and just like open and push, and then they slide out like this. I don't want to like flip them, but there. Works for me. These will probably not make it through the holiday season because I will drink all of them. Yeah, I'm still struggling with boxes. Not good at it. Be fun to open it up later. Before we get into tarot, we're going to do yarn. Again, this is Rainier Roses, who joined the Vlogmas family, so you should watch her videos here. She is a late-night anime-loving crafter, so if you are anything like that, you will probably enjoy her stuff as well. But she's doing her own Vlogmas. It's a little different than mine because, crinkle, crinkle, she's actually like working on projects and stuff and not just unboxing things and talking about tarot, but holy crap. Oh, Maribel, that's bright. Makeup girlies, look at that color. Holy shit. I have to put the noise in here because Wendy got mad that it wasn't in there the first time, but this is beautiful. I need to get like a little string to hang them all up on, but day 1 to day 2, that is quite makeup girlies. Quite the vibrancy difference. That's going to be really cool. Here is the background of what this is supposed to look like, or what the inspiration for it was. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this. I figured the first few days, because it's what, minis, and she has 4 color schemes on it. I'm assuming there'll be like 6 green, 6 of the purple, 6 of the pink, and blue? I don't remember what colors it was. I'm doing excellent. So it's like a greens, blues, purples, and pinks. So I'm assuming she's going to do like 6 of each. I don't know, we'll find out. That is a stark color difference, and that's going to add some really cool dimension to the project. Notice, here's another thing with it. Okay, so this one was day 1, and it's got some like patches of white, or like where the color didn't pick up as much. This one is just neon, and there's some areas of it that like aren't as dark as the other one, but I'm gonna have so much fun with this. Fantastic. Deviant Moon, we're gonna unbox this in a second, but I'm gonna at least open it and show you today's card lesson, because I haven't looked at this deck yet. Okay, well there is, you'll see it when I unbox it, but there's 2 like book cards and a description of the artist. Photographic manipulation. Each card began with a complete drawing scanned into the computer where we applied various photographic textures. 19th century tombstones provide most of the clothing. Cool. We are going to move on with our tarot lessons and talk about the second card in the major arcana, the card numbered 1, the Magician. And this is the Magician on the Deviant Moon. The Magician is the creator in tarot. I guess I should put a photo up too, that's probably easier. It's the creator in tarot, so it's going to have all 4 of the suits in its hands, which this one has 4 arms, which is kind of cool. So it's got the cup, it has the coins, it has the wand, it has the sword. So you are truly the creator of everything you have. You can manifest and make whatever you want, and that's basically what this card represents. You have the power to make magic happen, you have the power to make your manifestations a reality, but you do have to put the work into them. All the tools are at your disposal, and now it's time to actually create. It does look like this one is on a stage, which is a very interesting perspective to have, because the Magician in normal cards is like by himself doing his own magic or their own magic, because some cards do have them as women. This one looks like it's a jester performing, which is a fun take on it. It is the beginning of something. So the Fool is like, you don't know what's going on, you've got the naivete, you're going into it. The Magician is, you have the skills to make this happen, but now you actually have to do that. You have to have the creativity to figure out what's going on. Like, magic is at your disposal, right? It's called the Magician for a reason. The Magician can make anything happen. And in tarot, it's no different. You have the ability to make whatever you want appear. So do that, right? And then in the reverse, because remember, you don't have to read reversals, even though I personally do, and I think it makes you a stronger tarot reader. In the reverse, this is that you're doing it wrong. Sometimes it can be manipulation, depending on how you want to read it and what other cards are around it, but that's something that I always like to consider as well, is if it's in reverse, are you being told something that's not there? Instead of manifest something, are you manipulating something? Are you using the tools poorly and not thinking ahead? Overall, the Magician is a great card for starting something out, and if you're doing like a work reading or a career reading or anything about moving forward and figure out what the next steps are, the Magician is a great sign to have, because anything is possible if you put the work in. Yeah? Another thing to note is that this particular tarot deck has like 8 different versions. They have the small version, they have the bigger card version, they have the mini version, they have this version that comes with like a grimoire textbook situation with it, which is honestly a really cool thing to have if you have the means to get it. I just have the standard tarot version. Deviant Moon Tarot sets imaginative characters and evocative tarot imagery against moonlit backdrops. The stunning surreal artwork illuminates the darker side of the psyche and reveals the depths of human consciousness. Let's unbox it and see how we feel. Ready? You open it, it has a mini guidebook. This one isn't really long, honestly. It's acknowledgements and dedications in the front. It goes into each one of the cards, each one of the suits, the descriptions. It's only a little blurb and then an upright and a reverse meeting. It does give like 1 or 2 words that you can associate with this card. There's the Deviant Tarot book, which is much more in-depth, that you can use to kind of learn more about this if you wanted to. It tells you where you can get them, and this is the same cardstock as the rest of the cards, and then it's about the actual author himself. The cards are relatively thin, they're a little waxy, kind of reflective, which means that they're probably not going to photograph too great. Thankfully, I have natural sunlight right now. I put them against the rustic chevron background from Replica Surfaces. Again, there is a link for 15% off your first order from them in the description. If you are a tarot reader or a visual artist of some sort that needs backgrounds, I literally cannot recommend this thing enough. It's very uncanny valley. It's very creepy looking. It does have a real like Renaissance influence to it, but it also looks like it's possibly computer done or AI. Computer generated. I know it's not, and it looks like it was computer layered, not generated, where it's like the image, the drawing was done and then all this stuff was put on top of it, which I kind of dig. I also like the different skin tones. The Magician we already talked about, which is just, it's so creepy looking. Oh, that's so different. This High Priestess is gross looking. She does have the moon. She doesn't look like she has the pillars, but but she's on her throne and she's definitely hiding something. These are weird in the greatest way. Like, she has a tail. Why does she have a tail? Why does he have talon feet? These are cool. Oh, I like this. The Hierophant. Okay, he's praying, because this one represents like uniform religion, community, education, a teacher, and it has a little puppet in his pocket, which I think is a fun nod because that's how I view this card. It's like following the direction that's given to you, which is puppetry kind of, especially for people that do not have a good connection with religion. That is risky for the lovers. The snake bite down here is interesting too. I wonder why he put that in, because the lovers is about like desire and relationships, but also not being consumed by your desires. So I wonder if that's what that little snake is leading into. It's a giant head on wheels. Not what I would have thought. The chariot is typically literal. It's someone in a chariot. This one looks like this man is the chariot, or like a steam engine. But the eyes, it's just so creepy looking. Justice. Oh, wow. The Hermit's creepy looking. The Hermit's a really good card for reflection and introspection and kind of being by yourself, but this one almost looks like personal torture, which is definitely not how I would have perceived this card. I'm obviously not reading. Well, I can. Hermit hides from the world in his alcove. Although he shut himself off from the city, he's never truly alone. The rotted fish behind him is a reminder that we can never hide from ourselves. All right. I don't really know if I agree that the rotted fish is the, like, we can never hide from ourselves. I don't get it. The Wheel of Fortune. These are so different than how I would have drawn. This is the only one that's like relatively literal. Strength is typically, holding the mouth shut of something. This one's prying it open. The Hanged Man. I like this because the Hanged Man is typically you've put yourself in a position or you're in a position and you have to wait. And there's a little watch here on his heel just counting time. It's a reminder that you have to wait, and definitely interesting. Wow. Is this death? Because this one doesn't say anything on it. Yeah. This is death. These, I will say that this description is kind of gross, but it's cool. In the description it says that there's two corpses and the little one is trying to climb back into the womb of its mother, but it can't because another one is going to be born, which is gross, but it is a pretty true representation of death because with death comes rebirth. I just don't like how literal it is here. These are all spooky. They're very like creepy puppet background or like Courage the Cowardly Dog style images. The Devil is great though. Really cool. The Tower, also an excellent card. These are ugly in the best way. Okay, I love this. The moon is on the box of this deck, but I absolutely love the fact that they have puppet strings under the moon in their dancing because the moon represents illusions. I know I've talked about this previously on the channel, but it's not everything is what it seems. So the deviant moon casts its powerful influence over the city, controlling minds like a puppeteer. I love that. I think it's so cool looking and a really good representation of not everything is what it seems. I love the different colors that they're using on the bodies. Like that there's people of all different shades in their world. I think it's a really cool thing to see, especially in such a warped imagery here. It just adds such depth to the world that they've created. Judgment. You can tell these people are like suffering, and this is judgment raining down on them. And this is traditional of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck because it does have an angel with a horn in the original. The World has the Ouroboros, which is the complete cycle. Let's see, does she have all the elements? I just see the wands in here. I don't see everything else. Normally there's like cups and swords and whatnot represented on this card too, but I don't really see it here. Kind of looks like a really messed up Starbucks cup. All right, and now we're going into swords. The King of Swords. Oh, nice touch of emotion. There is the blood on here and the blood on the bottom. Wow, these are really well done. Ten of Swords. This is the Ruin card for those of you that know it. It looks like we're just going to go backwards in the suits here, which is kind of cool. So you get to see the story in reverse. This is the Ruin card of the you put yourself in a position and now you're gonna struggle if you stay here. And he's in a small box. The Nightmare card is the Nine of Swords in bed. The little imp haunting, not sleeping well. Yeah. Eight of Swords. This typically represents like you put yourself in this position and it's easy for you to get out of it. You're just like acting helpless. I don't know if I'd agree with that because it's like a window thing. Like pull yourself out of the window, I guess. Given I'm doing this all without reading the book for every single card. Not that it's a very detailed book that I have and I could get the bigger one, but I didn't want to for this. The Seven of Swords is theft. Interesting that it's eating the swords. Okay. This one's pretty literal. It's the travel card. It's the Six of Swords is leaving and moving on to something better. It's a hot air balloon boat situation, moving on to a new world. Five is conflict. Sleeping Beauty card. Or at least this is what I refer to this card as. It's taking rest and focusing inward so that you can figure out what your next step is. And it's very much if you don't take rest for yourself to heal over things, you'll never move forward it. And this honestly looks like it's buried in decomposing and resting. Interesting. The Heartbreak, very obvious. A difficult choice. It looks like the two are at arms. The Ace. These are just fucking weird in the best way. I really like this deck. King of Wands. And I like that they're different shapes almost. Like the people look very different. That's very Kafkaesque compared to the other suits. So like the King of the Sword suit, they all were like plump. And these ones are all interestingly shaped. The Journey card. Yeah, this is super interesting to see. I don't think that these are going to be helpful, like I've said, for people that don't understand tarot. See, fives represent conflict and fighting. I think that's pretty visible here. This is the Wedding card. It's the Four of Wands is typically like celebrations, happiness, matrimony. There is some hand fasting going on here, so it is pretty literal in that sense as well. I need to just sit down and know what his thought process was for these, because this is wild. They're so creepy looking. Onto Cups for emotions. This deck is really cool. Ten, the Family card. They all look happy and complete there. The Magic Wish card, that's fun. The Nine of Cups is essentially everything. Be careful what you wish for. You could have everything in front of you, and those are all. It's like a genie with all the cups. I think that's really cool that your whole wishes can come true. Don't be swayed by many choices. Don't overcomplicate things. These are really nifty. The Six of Cups is often known as like the childhood or rose-colored glasses card, and this has a bunch of children watching a little puppet show of a story of something happened in the past, and it's like remembering these things fondly. The Spilt Milk card. Don't Cry Over Spilt Milk. 3 have spilt, but there's still 2 that haven't. The Depression card. Wow. These are really interesting. Oh, I like that this one's a skeleton. I'm gonna have to get the Deviant Moon book for this one. Like, I appreciate that it has a little description in it so you can kind of get a taste of it, but I need to get the full book and see what the absolute hell was going through his mind, because I need to understand. Oh, this is going to be cool because Pentacles are quite often described as like a machine when people are making cards and images, and I know other decks have it, like the Cirque du Tarot has the suit of Pentacles as machinery, but it's kind of cool to see the like steamwork in the background, and that this one is much more mechanical and less physical or like human than the other suits. I always love when they turn the Pentacles deck or cards into something wild like this. Interesting that there's somebody holding the table up. I wonder what the significance for that one was. The Apprentice card, the 8 of Pentacles, to keep working and making yourself better. It's a literal steam line of doing it. Really, really interesting. I think that some of the cards in this deck are pretty literal, which is nice. 7 of Pentacles. Why is the tree bleeding? The Handout card. This one always, the 5 of Pentacles is often depicted as poor people or someone struggling and suffering outside of a church where there's help available and the help sees you, but you don't see them. Really interesting to see this just literally done. The 4 of Pentacles is about hoarding. The teamwork and collaboration card. They're all painting and doing something on each other. Wow. And the last one is a dragon. That's cool. Okay. All in all, I'm impressed. This deck is freaky. It's really freaky, but it's definitely a collective art style deck that I think I'm really going to enjoy getting to work with and get to know more. I do think, as I've said, that it is not super user friendly. I think you're going to need the book for this to understand what the interpretations are, and that this one is heavily influenced by the artist, so you're really going to need to see what Patrick wanted you to understand or wanted you to perceive with these images. I think this deck, I'm going to give it like a 7, a 6 or a 7, yeah. So we'll say 6.5. 6.5 is going to be the ranking that I'm going to start doing, because I'm going to start ranking all of them because I want you guys to rank them too. But 6.5 is what I'm going to give this one, purely for the art style for it. I don't think it's intuitive. I think you're really going to have to learn how this is meant to be read. But this is a really cool, dark deck that I think I can learn a lot from. Well, that was fun. Yeah, it's a cool deck. It feels a little uncanny for me looking at it because the way the photography is manipulated makes it look almost computer generated. And I know that it's like computer manipulated, but it's still actual photographic techniques, and it just feels creepy. You know what this deck makes me think of? Did you ever see the when they did it in like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or in the new Candyman movie where they had like the puppets happening in the background? That's the type of imagery that this makes me think of. And I know there's a lot of like mannequins and puppets in it, but it's just that like cut out, very creepy looking shadow work. I love shit like that because it's just spooky and fun, and I'm already doing tarot. I'm already doing witchcraft. If you were gonna go all in, let's go all in. Yeah. Let's hydrate. Let me know what you think of this deck though. If you liked it, what are your comments? Put it in the comment section. Wow. Let me know in the comment section if you like this deck. This was voted as the second deck to be eliminated by everybody, but you didn't see the deck. Now that you've seen the deck, how do you rank it? Give me a 1 through 10 in the comments. I'm curious to see how everybody feels about these things. I think it's an interesting deck. Yeah. Drink time. Again, this is the lemon lime microlight. So lime, green coffee, acerola. It is sugar-free, calorie-free, vitamin C, thiamine, and pantothenic acid. I don't know what that means, and I'm too lazy to look it up. But I know it's supposed to be a good little electrolyte thing for you. Let's taste it and see if it tastes any better this year than it did last year. It smells like Gatorade. It's fine. It's just like light lime water. Honestly, it doesn't taste... Like, I distinctly remember filming last year and having the lemon lime one and just being like, oh God, it's so much. This isn't. It just tastes like a lemon essenced water. So good on you, Water Drop, for actually making it taste better. I do not like the noise my body just made. All right, that's it for day 2. That was a really quick one, I feel. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when I edit it. But did you learn something today? If you learned something, hit the like button. If you want to learn more things, hit the subscribe button. I should learn to speak English. If you want to learn more things, hit the subscribe button. At the time of filming this, I am at 440 subscribers. So we have gone up quite a bit in the past week. Really pleased with that. And I just need to get to 1,000 and then the watch time, which I'm hoping I can do by the end of this. So if you learn something and you want to learn more about tarot, please hit the subscribe and share this with your friends. Vlogmas is a really fun time for me each year. And we're even doing tarot and yarn stuff now, so it's even more fun for me. But yeah, if this is fun for you, come back again. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Bye, neighbor. Hey, neighbor. It's Ryan from Hippie Witch Heart, and welcome back to day 2 of...